Wings is a project initiated by the Rotaract Club of IIT to mark the Women's Day this year. As a part of this project, we are reaching out to a set of phenomenal figures in Sri Lanka, and in today's episode we have Nadeesha Paulis, who is someone who is passionate about writing, and she has something more to tell for us women especially. So let's say hello to Nadeesha. Hello Nadeesha.
Hi.
A warm welcome to the
Hi,
show.
everyone.
It's
Hi.
really a pleasure for us to have you here. And let's start our conversation. Tell us a bit about yourself and what is your current line of work.
Okay, so I do a lot of random stuff. I am a writer and journalist by profession, but this is something that is like my side project. I love talking about periods, menstrual cups, and that is why I talk about it so much, and I want really everybody to get in on this. So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, that's very short and sweet. Right, so a special question. I think everyone is kind of eagerly waiting to hear something about this. What inspired you to begin Happy Bleeding?
Okay.
Tell us a bit about Happy Bleeding and your journey in establishing that term itself is very catchy, right?
Happy
One
Bleeding.
would call it Happy Bleeding.
I know.
But you call it Happy Bleeding.
I know. That's
so cool.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want to change. I know, like especially as menstruators, as women, we think I don't know about. I can't speak for everybody else when I talk about my personal experience. I think it's very. I remember hating the fact that I got periods, and I was cursing myself when I was young. Like I'm talking, okay, age 13, 14, 15, I hated having periods, and I was like, oh, why is it like I could be a woman if I didn't have periods, you know? But then now, like I'm now almost 30, and this little thing has changed my life, and I really want all other women menstruators to be able to feel this freedom of bleeding freely, hence the name Happy Bleeding, because why not, you know? Because actually believe me, I mean, I think everybody who can relate, I can relate, periods are annoying, it's hurt, it's painful, you don't have an appetite, you feel like all like sad and pathetic and sick and all of that. So but yeah, so that's but I thought, look, this little thing has made periods fun for me, and fun and easy, and actually in the long term sustainable and cheap as well. Because something actually I really didn't realize is when we use this, which is what we already use, it's great. I think pads are great. I think it's a blessing that even people can afford pads and we are using pads. But then again, what's the next step? You know, okay, we use this now and done. Like what happens to it afterwards, right? There's a lot of waste created, and a lot of actually we don't even know, like even a pad, right? We don't even know what's in it. So most of us, right? And we are keeping it in a very intimate area of ours. And so I was thinking, why not? Why, if there are alternatives that we can explore, things like even cloth pad, reusable cloth pads, period cups, period panties. We need to give menstruators the alternatives and the access to these alternatives in as much as we can, you know. So this is a little like a small step in the grand scheme of all of that to help women menstruators get involved in this.
Right, so it's like you'll be eagerly waiting for, oh my god, I'm waiting for my bleeding, Happy Bleeding.
Yes,
That sounds really cool. Right, so what are your thoughts on this stigma surrounding menstruation in Sri Lanka? How can we build a more supportive environment for women and girls during their menstrual period?
Yeah, so it's very strange. I find it very interesting because, see, menstruation, what we call it, big girl venawa, you know, and වැඩිවියට පත් වෙනවා it's a beautiful tradition. I think culturally it is, you know, it signifies a girl transitioning into a woman and saying that, okay, this girl is now ready to bear children. That is essentially what we are saying when we get our first period. You know, there's a lot of rituals. You know, I remember when I was in school, I had a white cloth on me, and like, you know, it was so scary and exciting and nervous. this and all of that, right? And I know each of us have our different experiences with relatives, some horrifying, some funny, some when you look back at it, you're like, oh my god, what were my parents thinking at the time, you know? So I think being in Sri Lanka is very, very interesting to really see that, you know. But that being said, you know, even this thing which is celebrated so much, it is still, you know, we still take that pad wrapped up in a piece of paper or brown paper when we're taking it from the pharmacy. So there's a big disconnection from celebrating it and to being ashamed of it, and you know, to be embarrassed about it. What happened there? You know, I feel like, this is my very personal opinion, I feel like in our culture we made that to be a very beautiful thing. You know, the period big girl වෙනවා වැඩි වියට පත් වෙනවා, you know, and to celebrate woman and womanhood and childbirth and reproduction and all of that. But somewhere down the line, it lost its meaning, it lost its translation, and we are now suddenly scared. You know, I remember, I'm sure a lot of women can relate. When I was in school, I went to all girls school, but when I was in classes and tuition classes and all that, I used to lift my skirt up and sit down because I was ashamed of boys or somebody seeing a red patch on my skirt. You know, I think I still check. You know, we do relate to that, right? But my point is, why are we so ashamed of it? Why are we so scared of it? You know, and it is a part of who we are. It is this process. Like, since I started working on the cup, I realized, you know, this process of periods is it's so beautiful, it's so fascinating, and it actually signifies health, good health in a woman. There are women who do not get their period, who have various conditions, PCOS, endo, you know, things like that. So it is a good sign of health. And to me, all my life I've been thinking, oh, stupid period, you know. So, and for me, this process of, you know, making awareness, talking about this, really opened my eyes, opened myself to this concept. Oh, this is actually something to be celebrated. Yes, there are a lot of issues for a lot of people, you know, inaccessibility to pads, or the shame, taboo, all of that. Yes, that is a challenge we need to overcome, but it is still a miracle, I think, for us to be able to do this body, to be able to do the things it does, you know. And for me, it's just opened my eyes.
Exactly, that's really inspiring. Right, so when did you start writing? We'll just move a little away from this. Okay,
Yeah.
your passion for writing.
Okay.
When did you start writing, and tell us a bit about your journey as a journalist.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago, I actually did not know what I need to do. At 19, okay, did A-levels, fine, what do I do next? You know, looking up, our A-level results got late by a year, so we were just, you know, twiddling our thumbs, doing that course, this course, you know, just I had no idea what to do. I actually worked at a bank for 3 weeks. It was horrifying. 3 weeks. It was the worst experience of my life. I did not fit in there. I was like, okay, here's my resignation, thank you for, you know, considering me. I can't do this. But since then I thought it's just that thing just wasn't for me, you know. And my mother's, of course, a writer. She's an editor, sub-editor. So I come from a background of writing and reading. I used to love reading, and probably why I kind of transitioned into being a writer. And yeah, I just was that. I started writing the newspaper, and then I worked in a couple of private and commercial companies, and yeah, that's how 10 years later I am, and I'm now actually teaching writing.
Okay.
I'm teaching writing through one of my workshops, which I thought was, because I feel like writing and journalism is really underrated. Writing, especially English language in Sri Lanka, because English language is a second language here. I feel like writers do not get enough recognition, you know, and I really want to give courage to the writers and the journalists to really empower it, you know. We are communicators. I think throughout time, communication has been this powerful tool to connect human beings, literally, you know. So communication as a tool, and to wield it in this beautiful way to connect with people, I think it's beautiful, and I would love to help others really and make a good wage, good living income out of it, and make it a lucrative business to feel empowered. You know, a lot of the time, you know, writers are on the side. That's my side hustle. I have a main job 9 to 5, but I have a side hustle. You know, it shouldn't be that way. We should, and not just English, of course, Sinhala, Tamil, everything. But since I am, of course, mainly predominantly better in English, I teach it there. But yeah, so that's how my writing journey is, and it's been a ride. It's been really nice. It's been exciting.
It's kind of genetic as well, right?
Yes, exactly. I was just thinking, yeah.
Right, fine. So what was the inspiration behind Book Swap Colombo? Tell us about your journey as its co-founder.
Oh, I'm so sad. We haven't had a book swap in 2 years. So actually, I think maybe 6 years, 7 years it's been there. But since COVID, we haven't met. It's just okay because my mother and my uncle, we all love reading. We thought, okay, why we have such a ton of books at home? Why don't like a bunch of us meet up and do it? We had 5 members in our first book swap, which is like just friends. Okay, we bought like 5 books. It was at the food court in. I can't remember. Somewhere food court. Okay. Right? That was the first book swap. We bought books and we just exchanged. And I was like, okay, wait, shall we do this? Let's get more people. Okay, friends, fine. And then suddenly it evolved into this. Like there were at a time there were 60 people who came to a book swap. We did it every Friday evening from like say after work 5 to 7, 8, 9, and those people just came. They swapped books. They took books, and then next month they bought it back. It's a very informal kind of thing, not like a library thing where you have to kind of be very stringent with it, but kind of the hope, the motto or the general vibe of it is if the more you give, the more you get. So it's a very informal. We don't even keep like tabs on who takes what or whatever. We just facilitate the venue and the meeting and the Facebook, what are the marketing, these things, and people turn up, and it was such a vibe. We kind of expanded onto like an open mic, creators edition, creators edition, where people, because tendency is that people who try to read also like to write, and maybe poetry, prose, music, all of that. So yeah, we had a couple of those as well, but yeah, since COVID we haven't, but fond memories to think about it.
So we hope that we can start
yes,
very soon.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And this International Women's Day, what is the one life advice you can give to women and girls around the world?
One life advice, that's a lot of pressure, but so something I have also learned is to find magic in the process. I think we are a progress. We are a project in progress. Until the day we die, we will learn. We will be okay. We will do stupid things. We will make mistakes. It's okay. But just to find hope within yourself and hope in the process. Even if you're at a tough time. Okay, what is this challenge teaching me? How can I make this? Not a kind of a victim mindset. Okay, why is this happening? What did I do wrong to deserve this? I don't deserve this. But to make like a good thing out of nothing. I feel like even like periods, right? I use it's we can't help it. We can't help it. It's a thing. But how do we make it? How do we overcome? I think that's a kind of the resilience, especially as women and girls and females in general. I think we bring forth life. We create. We reproduce. I think it is in our atomic code to bring out creativity, and we are very nourishing. I mean, in general we are like that. We are made to be that. We are very resilient, and we also go in a cycle, which is strange because see, like even modern day, like this rat race, everybody's running non-stop. We humans are not built to be that way. We have cycles like where even the seasons and all that, where we are very productive, then we rest, rejuvenate, and then that cycle. Even like look at our menstrual cycle. We are ovulating, then we are you go through the cycles. And I think I think the more we try to go against nature is when we're going to have more problems. We have to be more attuned with ourselves, with our bodies, with nature, and I think nature has the answers. So yeah, I think that is just one thing I would like to say.
That's awesome. And I think after watching this episode, the girls will be like, giving treats every month. I got my periods, happy bleeding.
Oh, we should make a happy bleeding day.
That's really cool. Right. Yes, here we are to add more spice to the session as usual, the rapid fire round. Hope you're ready, Nadeesha? Yes.
Nervous.
Right. How would you describe yourself?
Crazy. absolutely bonkers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Super cool. Right.
And people are welcome to take it whatever. Like you have crazy good and you have crazy bad.
Okay.
Take it whatever you like.
No wonder she's a writer. Okay. Beach or mountain?
Beach. I live by the beach. I live by the beach, but also mountain because I love mountain. But beach mostly.
Okay. Good.
I'm a beach baby.
What movie, book, or TV show changed your life?
I'd say all the books I've read possibly. I don't have one. Not really. I don't have one book
Maybe a
like
bit
that.
from this and a bit from that.
Yeah. Actually, Harry Potter, I would think, because I was just reading Harry Potter recently, and I remember reading it those days as well. And I was thinking, oh my God, it gives such like it took me back to my childhood, because I remember those days I was reading books and eating like this Harry Potter, and I was like, oh, this is so nice, you know? Yeah, maybe that.
Right. And your favorite animal?
All animals,
Okay.
but cats. Because I have 2 cats.
All right. Okay. Right. So you are a cat woman.
Yes, cat first.
Okay. Right. So what do you wish you learned sooner?
Tamil.
Ah.
Tamil. I still wish, I'm 30 this year, I still wish I learned Tamil. I need to do that at some point, because I think, especially living in Sri Lanka, we miss out a lot on our fellow Sri Lankans, and that power to connect, because I don't know Tamil. That's a huge issue.
Right. So I wish you all the best that you learn it very soon.
Yes.
And next time when I meet you, we'll speak in Tamil.
Challenge
Right.
accepted.
Okay. So that's done, and you did well, Nadeesha. So that is Nadeesha Paulis, who is sharing a lot of inspiration and ideas with us, and I think this is going to motivate a lot of girls out there. And thank you very much, Nadeesha.
Thank you for having me.